Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Merson and this is my Module 2 video. I'm currently a 6th grade teacher in the Central Bucks School District. I've been at CB for 3 years. Prior to working here, I worked at a charter school for 3 years as a 6th and 8th grade social studies teacher. I graduated from Millersville in 2010 with my bachelor's in elementary education, so I'm excited to be back at the master's level. Here's a picture of my family. My husband Dave, who I met at Millersville. We've been married for 6 years. My daughter Amelia, who is 4 years old, and my daughter Scarlett, who is 2. And then here's a really cute picture of them from last Halloween. So as I began to think about myself as an online learner, I realized my first opportunity to be an online student was when I got my ESL certificate through Temple University. And this program was completely synchronous, so every night I was logging into live teaching. It could be a lecture, small breakout group discussions, whole class discussions. I was presenting to small group and to whole group online, which is a really fun first opportunity at online learning. The next time I was an online learner was through Millersville's STEM program and classes like this. And so obviously it's very different than my program at Temple, as this is a completely asynchronous program, so I'm not having to log in and have listen to live lectures. And so it's been a really cool opportunity to be a part of both kinds of online learning and to really figure out what works best for me as an online student. As for online teaching, my first opportunity started 2 months ago, like most of you. In the beginning, my district, we just did review, so it was kind of nice to ease my way into it. And then after a few weeks, we started with new content. So over the past 2 months, I've been forced to develop a lot of skills. And so one of those skills was to really become a master at my content area. So prior to working as a elementary school 6th grade teacher where I teach all subjects, I just taught 6th grade social studies and 8th grade social studies. And I felt like I really mastered my content and my subject area. I was a total expert with everything that I was teaching. But then when I started working in an elementary school and had to teach every subject, it's my second year in 6th grade. I don't feel like I fully mastered the content, and I don't think I will for a few more years. So during this, I really had to slow down and do a lot of studying on my own and going back and really learning this content so that when I'm recording videos, my students are getting really good information. So I've become definitely more of an expert. I have prior online experience as a student, so I know how frustrating it can be as a student, and so I think that empathy has been helpful. I've also developed my technology skills. As I said in my Flipgrid, my district has been really awesome when it comes to professional development. And so prior to this, I used Teams, I've used Seesaw, I've used Flipgrid, I used Padlet, but never in the way that I'm using them right now. And so I've really gotten a lot better and a lot less scared about trying new technology. My organization has definitely developed. At the beginning, my online class was a mess. I was trying to use all these different apps because they're so cool and they're so fun and my students love them, but I was trying to use too many. So I really got organized about and really got smart about what would be best for my students. And so narrowing it down to maybe only 2 apps and 2 ways that we're going to hand in work has been really helpful for my students. And so figuring out how to organize late work and how to organize students who aren't or students who I've given feedback to and I'm still waiting for them to make changes. So that has been a process, but it's definitely gotten a lot better. Some areas or some skills that I still need to develop. My online communication skills, I think I struggle a lot with that because I love being able to interact and read people's faces. And online it's so much harder. And I think sometimes my feedback in my chats to my students, the tone isn't always the same tone that I would use. The tone that they're hearing it as or they're reading it as isn't the same that I would say it. So that's something that I'm still working on. Another thing is to engage all students. I really did pride myself in doing really fun things in the classroom and being silly and singing songs to engage my students. And I've tried to do that as much as I can. I just think it hasn't translated as much in the online platform. The other thing that I need to develop is student collaboration. I haven't even gone there at all yet. I'm still trying to wrap my head around just online learning, but that's definitely something that I think would actually help engage my students, is that if we had a lot more collaboration. And then the last area that I need to develop is just to understand online classroom management. I don't know that I'm managing a class right now. I'm just giving assignments and collecting work. So I think that's something that I need to work on. So as I looked at all of these qualities of an online educator, they are very, very similar to a face-to-face educator. So looking at dedication and motivation, I think both a face-to-face teacher and an online teacher are motivated and dedicated to their students and their students' learning. I think the difference is that an online educator might be motivated more by the content and being excited about what they're teaching. And then the face-to-face teacher is most likely more motivated by her students and their reactions to what they're teaching and the light bulb moments that they're visually seeing as they're teaching. When it comes to organization, I think the similarities are that both online and face-to-face teachers, we all have to do these housekeeping tasks that we just enjoy so much. Things like taking attendance or collecting late work, making sure students are checking in and doing all of their assignments. Both online and face-to-face teachers have to do those things. I think the difference is that when it comes to organization, online teachers have to do a lot more pre-planning. If they want their lesson and their unit to be organized, they have to really think through everything. I'm really seeing that as an online teacher, I'm having to do a lot of work before I'm putting out an assignment. And so that is definitely a big difference. When it comes to flexibility, I think both an online educator and a face-to-face educator have to change their plans based off of their students' needs and the data that they're seeing. But I think the difference is that an online educator can be a lot more flexible with their time. They don't have a student right there in front of them asking for help. It's an email that's waiting, and so they can log in at a certain time. So they're able to be more flexible. And their students are able to be more flexible too. When it comes to patience, I think that both online teachers and face-to-face teachers have to react and adjust to problems that arise. I think that the difference is that in the online format, the problems that arise are more likely having to do with confusion over assignments or having issues with technology. And then in face-to-face teaching, it's most likely going to be behavior issues and things like that the face-to-face teachers are going to have a lot more patience with. When it comes to passion, I think that both face-to-face teachers and online educators realize that relationships matter, and they matter for so many reasons. But if there is not a relationship, online or face-to-face, the student's not going to be learning to the best of their ability. I think in the online, the difference is that in the online classroom, it's just a lot harder to build those connections. It's not impossible, but it's just a lot harder, and you have to spend a lot more time in the beginning really, really fostering those relationships. When it comes to clear expectations and support, both online and face-to-face teachers have to provide feedback to their students about their work and about how they're managing their space and time and all of those things. I think in some ways, being an online teacher, it's easier to give feedback. It just is more organized. I found it's different to collect 27 notebooks, stack high and write comments, as opposed to looking through Teams at the assignments and being able to comment right away. I also think that it's easier for an online teacher to hold students accountable when it comes to whole group discussions. When you're in the classroom, you're just kind of going with it, and you may miss that there's a student who hasn't really interacted with the discussion. When you're an online teacher, you can kind of really see, oh, that kid isn't participating. And you have real evidence that they aren't, which I think is definitely a difference there. As I was watching the video, these three roles stood out to be very similar to me, but played out in different ways. So one of the roles that both online and face-to-face teachers have to play is facilitating multiple small groups. Now, in the face-to-face classroom, it's a teacher sitting at a table with a small group and then other small groups working on different things. And that's a whole different management issue, as opposed to online, where you're breaking your students and you have these kids watching a video and you're working with a small group. It's a little bit different, but you're still having to manage those students and manage those groups. Both online and face-to-face teachers have to do classroom management. It looks a lot different. It looks, in the online world, like emails to reach out to students and asking them to participate more, as opposed to face-to-face. It might be just a look that you're giving your student, or pulling them in for lunch so that you can try to build those relationships. Another role that both an online and a face-to-face teacher have to play is being a motivator. And in the face-to-face classroom, it might be a pat on the back or a high five or a smile or something like that to motivate the student. But in the online teaching world. It might be an email just saying, you're doing an awesome job, I'm so proud of you. It might be emailing their parents to give them a shout out. It could be sending them an emoji, putting an emoji sticker on one of their assignments or something like that. So as I was reading about the online teaching challenges, the one that stood out that would be the biggest challenge for me is the student issues section of the article. The whole section about some students just fail, they're just not getting online instruction, and just others don't fail. That just really goes against a lot of my beliefs as a teacher, that I don't want to let any student fail. And so when they're in front of me, I feel like it's easier to not let that happen, as opposed to online where you're not with them when they're doing their work, and you can't be a support unless they're asking for that support, or it's harder to be a support unless they're asking for that support. So that would definitely be a challenge for me as an online teacher, and has been a challenge for me. And then the other thing was the idea of really knowing your students. As a face-to-face teacher, I can tell that my student is having a bad day in the first 3 seconds of them walking into my room. I know how to, I can look at my students and say, okay, you need me to back away now and just give you your space right now. So I think as an online teacher, it's just harder and it's a bigger challenge to get to know your students. I think I feel really lucky to have had the face-to-face interactions with my students at the beginning of the year, because it's making online teaching a little bit easier because I already have those relationships. But I think it'd be very hard to go into online teaching and not have those face-to-face interactions prior to the online teaching. Another challenge for me under the student issues kind of umbrella would be motivating my students versus nagging. Sometimes I feel like I'm sending these missing assignment emails, or, hey, do you need help with this? Can I help you in any way? I feel like I'm almost nagging them and begging them to let me help them. And it's not always motivating. Sometimes it's just annoying. And so really kind of trying to move my interactions with them through emails and chats and videos or whatever to motivating them versus nagging them to just get their work done. And I want my students to be intrinsically motivated. And so that's a little bit harder to gauge in the online format. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.